revolutionary, a liberator, and a true African leader. His name will forever remain synonymous with the new African continent. His name and works will most definitely be passed from generation to generation.
I, Nelson Mandela,
the first black president of the post-apartheid South Africa,
do hereby swear to be faithful to the Republic of South Africa.
After nearly 3 decades in prison and incarceration posed by the colonial white rulers, come May 1994, Nelson Mandela was sworn in as the first black president, culminating a long, treacherous journey towards breaking the stronghold of apartheid and ushering in a new era of multiracial democracy.
Never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another.
Born in July 1918 to a tribal chief in Eastern Cape of South Africa, Nelson Mandela studied to become a qualified lawyer, and in 1952, together with lifelong friend and fellow anti-apartheid activist Oliver Tambo, he set up the first black law firm. Together, they campaigned against apartheid, the exercise in social engineering, under which the white South African minority in charge of the military as well as economic forces brutally crushed the human rights and aspirations of the majority black people. As resistance against apartheid intensified, in 1956, Nelson Mandela was among 156 political activists that were arrested and charged for high treason, a trial that lasted for 4 years before the charges got dropped. In 1960, during such protests, 60 unarmed people were shot and killed by police fire. This convinced Mandela that it was time to fight even more courageously.
Many people feel that it is useless and futile for us to continue talking peace and non-violence against a government whose reply is only savage attacks on an unarmed and defenseless people.
He began planning and actualizing acts of sabotage as the leader of the military wing of the African National Congress ANC party, the Black Pimpernel, as he got to be known, evading the police net on numerous occasions. However, in 1962, he was caught, and this picture of him clad in tribal skins and evidently in custody being the last one of him seen as a young man. Mandela was sentenced to life and jail on Robben Islands, a top security prison off the coast of Cape Town. The white government banned the publishing of any of his photographs and declared quoting him an offense. He would later go back as a free man to the place that drained the entirety of his youth. Astonishingly, when queried, he did not seem to sound bitter.
There were moments of joy, but of course there were painful moments because the apartheid regime was an expert in persecuting people psychologically.
While in prison, the brutality against the blacks continued throughout the 70s and 80s. With the battle against apartheid gaining ground, the locked away Nelson Mandela still very much the face of it all. the crumbling apartheid regime realized that the only way out was talking to the main man, Nelson Mandela. He was secretly whisked away to Victor Verster prison, where the negotiations that will ultimately see him released were held.
We soon grasped the fact that we are not conducting a struggle against individual whites. We are fighting a principle, fighting white domination. And in the course of that struggle, we can even form friendships with people from the other side.
In February the 11th, 1990, Nelson Mandela walked a free man again after 27 years in prison, with his then-wife Winnie at his side. The pressure from not only the South Africans but world over had finally borne fruit. Soon after his release, the hope that was germinating in South Africa will begin to quickly wither away as township violence threatened the new era. Blacks began fighting and killed each other as Nelson Mandela continued to negotiate a new democratic path.
Take your guns, your knife, and your pangas, and throw them into the sea.
The country's first multiracial elections in 1994 saw Mandela ascend to power as the first black president after clinching a landslide victory. The prisoner became president.
The sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement. Let freedom reign. God bless Africa. I thank you.
A Truth and Reconciliation Commission was formed to lead the process of national reconciliation. The victims got an opportunity to express their ordeals and confront the oppressor. In most cases, these sessions were very emotional and relatively unbearable to many.
What kind of man that uses a method like this one of the wet bag to people, to other human beings, repeatedly, and listening to those moans and cries and groans, and taking each of those people very near to their deaths? What kind of man are you? What kind of man is that?
Nelson Mandela will only stay in power for just a term of 5 years, but full of unique moments. Although he struggled to deal with the key challenges of the South African people, such as quality affordable housing, widespread poverty and disease.
Incredible scenes.
This moment here, when he attended a Rugby World Cup final match in South Africa that the country's national team, the Springboks, won, stood out, as this simple act united the two sides of the population.
I am confident that nobody will present here today. That nobody present here today will accuse me of selfishness if I ask to spend time while I'm still in good health with my family, my friends, and also with myself.
After retirement from politics in 1999, Mandela ignited his family life. Having missed his children growing up, Mandela wanted to feel up close his fatherly side, and after his marriage with Winnie fell off the cliff. At the age of 80, he married Gracia Machel, the widow to former Mozambique President Samora Machel. He remained a reassuring public presence as the country grappled with the challenges of post-apartheid era. However, his health deteriorated in his latter years, forcing him to retire to his rural home, where he enjoyed the warmth of his grandchildren, once in a while playing host to national as well as international guests, until he could do it no more. He passed on in December 5th, 2013, but his imposing presence, epic speeches and quotes, and his works remain so alive posthumous. Nelson Madiba Mandela remains the truest son of Africa, a clear mirror that the current and future world leaders should gauge and reflect their leadership upon. For CAC TV, my name is Vincent Kerosi.
Hi, thank you.